$1,800 tokens per second. That's like my llama starts replying before I finish my prompt.
It's that fast. It's instant. This is why we think that this is going to revolutionize this entire inference space. Because if you're sitting there and waiting for the response to come out, it limits all the different use cases that you can support. And the entire industry is moving to agentic workflows, which require multiple model calls, even for a single user response. And so you really need that instantaneous response to be able to even support these more complicated, more accurate agentic workflows. And so in a lot of ways, this is exactly where we believe the entire AI community needs to move to be able to unlock that next generation of Gen AI inference.
What are you most looking forward to as a result of announcing inference?
I'm excited just to hear the feedback, right? Performance, the accuracy, the new applications that people are going to build.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Nish. I think we're all hardware geeks, and so we're really excited about high throughput numbers and high X factors and all that. But what really gets us excited is to see what all this is going to enable. When we talk about how we're doing GPU impossible work, is that we're going to enable workloads and new applications that just weren't even possible before. And so beyond the big X factors and the big numbers, that's what I'm really excited about.
What inspired you to create the wafer scale engine?
When we started the company, we had a vision to drastically change the landscape of compute for AI. And our insight at the time was that we were just at the very beginning of a massive demand for compute. This was just a year or two after AlexNet was created, when he figured out how to use GPUs to run neural networks. And all of a sudden, these neural networks were doing things they could have never done before. As a computer architect, that was like a light bulb moment, because that's exactly what you're looking for, is when you have this really tight dependency between the workload and the underlying infrastructure and the hardware, where without each other, you're not going to be able to do something. And that's really the genesis of Cerebrus and the wafer scale engine. We knew we needed to go big, and we literally went as big as possible. And the rest is history.
How can I get Cerebrus to take notice and give me an API key?
Well, to start, we are limiting the number of users because of the super heavy demand that you all have generated. And so if you have really interesting use cases, feel free to reach out to us through our Cerebrus.ai website and tell us about some of the really cool use cases that you guys are interested in exploring. We've already seen some mind-blowing demos and examples running on our instant AI. If you have some really interesting use cases like that, we would love to work with you and enable you to do something that you couldn't do before.
What inspires you to innovate?
Want to take that?
So I joined the company because 5 years ago, to the day pretty much, right? Sean announced the wafer scale engine, and I joined because I knew that I could make this thing fly, right? With the help of our large team here. And this is already kind of answered that question for me.
When we started the company and we were really trying to do something revolutionary, this is exactly the kind of thing we were thinking about, right? Is, not to build something that's 10 or 15% better than what's out there, but something that's orders of magnitude better than what's out there. Because only with that kind of revolutionary change can we really unlock a lot of this unknown and revolutionary kind of new applications. And so I'm really excited to see this happening, and being a big part of it is, I couldn't be more proud.